Joyous time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today we discuss creative self-care in the Witch's Book of Self-Care by Arin Murphy-Hiscock. Right. Kind of music things. It's awfully soft. Hold on. I might have to turn it back down later, but hello to Ginny Noble and Amelia and Spence. Gonna be everywhere today. Do all the things. I discovered through BC and Al a work, like she basically, Mallory Cooper, she does a work session from like 10 to 5. Like she's on all day on YouTube and Twitch, I think. And hi, Katerina. So if you are looking to get shiz done, Mallory's a great place to go. Yeah, time to turn it down. I hope I finish baking cookies, otherwise I'll probably be a lump. What happens if you don't finish baking cookies? I don't understand how you stop in the middle of making cookies. You do the things, and then you put it in the oven, and then you leave it alone, and then you take it out of the oven, and then you leave it alone some more. It's pretty much does its own thing. All right. I'm so glad to see you guys back. I love you guys. You're so great. Yes, the best doughs are chilled after mixing. I've made 4 batches worth. It's really easy to get stopped at the chill stage. Yeah. Okay, that's valid. I concede. It's that whole meat leaving it alone thing that I was mentioning. Oh my gosh, you keep getting louder. The song is called Dungeons and Dragons, by the way. It claims to be no copyright music. For reals, to both. All those things. This is not the music to do a grounding ritual to, I think. So I'm pulling today's card. Unless you guys super want a... I've been dying to make some cookies and fill my freezer with almost baked goods. Yeah. Yeah, that's super helpful. I wish I had bigger hands for this. I already do it sideways, right? But until the KitchenAid is back from the appliance hospital, I am limited. Oh, good morning, Christina. So lovely to see you. I am super happy that you are here. All right, what's today's card? The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Look, it's upside down. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Perfectionism is limiting you from your full capacity to create amazing work by obsessing over minor details. Frustration is building up after spending so much time and resources on a project with little reward. Your patience is wearing thin, and you're wondering if this endeavor is even worth your efforts. Refocus on why you want to learn these new skills and how they would benefit your life in the long run. Release judgment around how fast and how good you are at picking up these new skills, and avoid comparing yourself to others. Everything takes time. You are on your own unique path. Struggle is part of the journey and will be worth it when you apply yourself. Give yourself the freedom of trial and error and decide what works best for you. Moral of the story: progress is progress. Getting it done over making it perfect. Just get it done. So the tricky part, especially with writing, and drawing, I suppose, painting most especially, you're always going to be better. So I ran into that with Hope's Chest. I worked on it for 11 years, and I learned a lot in those 11 years because so stop stressing over the little stuff. Yeah. Hi, Debbie. I'm sure you would understand this. Have you looked through your comics that you've drawn and at the beginning been like, I wish I could redo these pages, and then look at the pages you've done recently and been like, wow, I really grew? Like, you're always becoming a better artist. The more you draw comics, the more you're going to be good at it, right? So the beginning of the book always looks different from the end of the book. Hello, Heather. So glad to see you guys. I meant to make a overlay for myself yesterday, and I never got around to it. Mostly because my computer couldn't find my fonts. My Photoshop specifically could not find my fonts. My computer could find it fine, but I didn't know how to turn on or turn off. I hate that Mac automatically turns off fonts that you don't use very often, or turns off fonts that you use all the time. Hello, Kristen. So after 11 years and losing my job and quarantine being a thing, I was like, I have no excuse not to release this book. I've done 3 drafts. I've done developmental edits. I've done beta readers. I've done editors. I've done all the things. Well, rather, my beta reader was an excellent editor, like excellent editor. So and I owe her a copy of Hope's Chest. It's also where I learned to start at chapter 2, write the rest of the book, and then go back after you've written the whole story and write chapter 1. That way you can have your mini plot on a much, much lower scale, but it's still enough action to kind of like draw the reader in. Currently working on a redraw for my friend's birthday. Right on. So you definitely get it. Always getting better. So concentrate on getting done, and then you can make the next great thing. I am in the kitchen today because I wanted light. Light and table. It's the problem with this time of morning is if I sit in my nest, I'm a black silhouette because of the backlighting. And I could sit in front of the window, but that means I'm sitting on the floor, and this sits on the carpet, and it's overheated, and all you hear is the fan. I need to turn this music down again. There we go. Like, I feel like I have to shout over the music. My cat is a loaf. All right. Creative self-care. Creative self-care absolutely falls under spiritual self-care because it helps nurture something ineffable. So I have a very fancy lap desk, but with all the cords and stuff, I can't move it with all the bedding in the way. It's a great way to make a disaster area. A second lap desk is probably a great idea. The nest, Mama Bird has come out of her nest to show her pretty face. Hooray for natural lighting. Hooray for natural lighting. You're here. I'm painting in my sketchbook with some gouache today. Oh, I love gouache. I had so many like classmates that hated working with it. Oh, it's like a combination of acrylic and watercolor. It's wonderful. You can get so much done with just a little bit, which is why the little containers of gouache are like super tiny. Spiritual balance means being in harmony with your spirit and the energy of the world at large. When you work on deepening and broadening your spiritual connection to the universe, you'll find your creativity responding as well. Maybe I'll break out my gouache. I have all that block paper. The thing is like, I'm like, I want to do a watercolor painting. But that means I have to pencil something on block paper, and I hate penciling on block paper. But I need the thing. I'm just like, I want to paint something. Creative self-care isn't about how unique or original your self-care methods are. It's about feeding your soul. It's what gives you joy, creates excitement, gives you a place to take risks and nurture passion again. Yes, Very well put. Go say hi to Mal. If acrylic and watercolor had a baby made of butter. Butter that's been now on the counter for like forever. It's wonderful. There's a reason why Picasso used it so much, especially in his blue period. It's about feeding your soul. This is the area to explore if you feel dull and uninterested and need a way to boost yourself in general. Creative self-care encourages you to give your inner self attention and an outlet and creative... What the fuck? Let me try this again. Creative self-care encourages you to give your inner self attention and an outlet and encourages a positive attitude. That's a terrible sentence. Oh my gosh. Was there an editor? Like, it's a Simon & Schuster book. Oh, it's got the cover designer on here. Oh, but it's a Getty image. That's a shame. Bailey just punched her little hand into a jar of grape jelly. Baby Chuck Norris fears no jam. I'm playing with a really limited color palette. I'm really only using green and red, but also have to get to have yellow and white because I have a very bluey green. Oh. Monochronism is, there is a lot to say for monochronistic pieces. Or duotistic, where you only use a couple of colors, and it's not usually the colors you would, select for those things. It's different light and different all the things. Taking breaks and allowing yourself to play and explore other methods of being productive and creative without a deadline or an imposed context is a valuable way to refresh your outlook and sense of capability. I've been playing video games instead of working on 3 sillies this week. It's not great. I just intend on checking my guys' missions, and then I end up doing other stuff in the game, and that's retarded. Excuse me, poor choice of words. It's ridiculous is what it is. It may seem counterintuitive to take a break from your to-do list to engage in something unconnected like drawing, coloring, or knitting. But creative projects tend to use a different part of your brain, which gives the overworked parts time to breathe. Right, but what if they're the same thing? Disengaging from your work can paradoxically make you more productive. That's probably why I sleep. Doodled a lot. Oh, hold on. I had a jump. I felt creatively dry, so I'm trying to understand myself and the rest. Yeah, I'm doing landscape with just red and green. Cool. And it's an experiment with shades of green because I was feeling limited in how I was mixing and using my greens and browns. That's an awesome experiment. Doodled a lot. My Sundays are my creative self-care days. I need to have at least one day of doing what I enjoy that isn't writing or work. So I crochet, I craft, or I read. It is why I do when the kids are in school. Oh, you mean you draw while the kids are in school? My creative well is empty at the moment, so I'm trying to read and get back into sticky painting. What is sticky painting? Remember, spirituality isn't a religion. You can be deeply spiritual and creative without following a prescribed religious path. I agree. You can be totally so here's the weird thing. I consider myself very spiritual, right? But if I say that in public, people assume that I'm Christian, and I'm not. I'm very passionate about my Buddhist path, and I'm very passionate about my witch path. And they're very interconnected as far as I'm concerned. So the trick is when your creative well is empty, what do you do to refill it? I sleep. That is what I do. I take a 3-hour nap, and then I can pop right back into it. But it's so emotionally exhausting for me. Like, it's very rare when I can sit for hours and hours and hours and draw these days. I do like 2 hours of 3 sillies and then 2 hours of screaming eye, and then I'll sleep for 3 hours, then I'll get up and then I'll work for another like 4 hours. Oh, yeah, I have friends who do that. And I hear it's very Zen-inducing. Like that trance, that gnosis that I was like talking about. Like I hear it, the repetition and the productivity and all of that jazz is very, very satisfying. I found that for me, the more I make, the more my well refills creatively. Because I've been working on so many projects that take time, it's not as gratifying. So I might try and do like like an overlay or something like that. Something that, like, working on my YouTube account, on my StreamYard and stuff like that. Like, that's this thing that I am doing right now. I find very fulfilling. So you need a gree bag for creativity. And you need to keep it on your person. It being winter doesn't help. It gets out that agitated hand motion and gets my brain engaged. Then I do a page in my sketchbook. Right on. I used to do I should get back into the habit of this. I would do gesture drawings, like page by page by page by page by page, just like pages and pages and pages of gesture drawings. And then I would go back and actually make those gesture drawings drawings. And then I would scan it or take a picture of it and bring it into like digital form and color it, and or I would ink it and color it in the sketchbook. I want to start trying to learn ukulele again. YouTube is really great for that. You just have to make the time to do it. Does your family, do your in-laws, future in-laws? I'm not sure what's up with that. Do they complain about it? Gesture drawing is a great idea, yeah. Just fill a sketchbook full of gesture drawings. And for me, that would probably take like a week. Because I can do like 10 in like a sitting. I'm working on an essay about the importance of warming up. Warming up is integral. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing 3 Sillies, is that 3 Sillies is simple enough and loose enough that it acts as a warm-up for me. And then I can work on other stuff. And I don't know if it's a benefit or not, because I feel like I'm playing it loose and fast with my Screaming Eyes stuff, which I don't know if that's the kind of look I wanted, but I do not make the time. They don't care about the noise, yay! Yeah, as soon as you get that done, I would love to share it and talk about it and review it. Because this is applicable for writing. This is applicable for music. This is applicable for anything creative that you have developed as a skill. Singing. Warm-ups are integral. You'll know anyone at any time, even if it was years ago, that does drawing prompts. Yeah. I often find myself drawing the same things or in the same style, and I have no idea where to begin with other styles. I can totally help with that. And I really want to get back into drawing in my free time. Yeah, I can totally help with that. And I'm sure Spence can too, like those warm-ups are basically just drawing exercises. Also, I can recommend there's a 100 prompt list somewhere for drawing or RP or whatever for writing. Yeah, bring it up in the flip side and we'll hash out details. Casey Golden did a series from the book 500 Drawing Prompts that got me going with that book and inspired a lot of my own art. That's excellent. That is excellent. I would do the same thing. Drawing exercise, cue the montage. I can probably set up a stream once a week where I show like how to draw things. It's just basically like learn how to draw. And most people want to be able to, especially with dance, I notice, but with people want to skip steps, right? they want to go into a lesson on how to play guitar, and they want to walk out of that classroom having known how to play a song. Like, they want like a palpable product as evidence that they have put in the work. I'd like to dedicate some time, a year at some point, to burn my way through that book in a year. In a year. 500 prompts in a year. That's really ambitious. That is not this year. Yeah, that is really ambitious. Doing 30 prompts in 30 days is really hard for me because I want to spend more than one day on a piece. Yay, drawing with Sako. That would be awesome. As long as you can swing it. I know you have a lot going on these days. I do. Saturday nights? Stop calling my instrument ad out. Oh, ADD. Gotcha. I need to learn the basic skills and go around of what you're trying to learn before you can play Stairway. Yeah, or draw a perfect rendition of a Mona Lisa. This is why drink and sips are so popular, because they want to walk in with no art skills and walk out with a painting. I've toyed with the idea of getting a drawing class set up at a craft store, but the lady who owns it is very cringe. Yeah, I know what you mean. You're like, this would be so useful for so many people. And so maybe a craft store isn't the place to do it. Maybe a gallery or maybe a bar. And then just like, honestly, I have things that I would do, which I still kind of want to do, but it's tricky with the whole quarantine thing. I used to do them all the time. No, not the library. That would, one, that is a really complicated background. Two, you have to stay quiet. And it's not that drawing sessions are noisy, but we usually like to play music or chat with each other or, yeah, this was a pre-COVID idea. I used to hold art jams. So what an art jam is when a bunch of artists get together and they draw. And sometimes they trade sketchbooks. Sometimes there's a theme. Sometimes there's a model. You know, like, there's all kinds of cool shit can happen at an art jam. Oh, that's true. Many libraries do have separate rooms. We've had parties and stuff like that for NaNoWriMo at the library. Drunk art class. Okay, where do I sign up? We have paint and sips here, but the wives here are just terrible. I stay in my house for more reasons than COVID. Amen to that. I think you would benefit from a paint and sip, but you can do that from home, you know. Especially with the Bob Ross stuff being so popular. My library for me would work pretty well if I had a solid group of people who would want to come. Right. exactly. Paint and sips are really expensive, in my opinion. They are, and there's a reason for that. Oldsters, retirees, moms. The craft store had drawing classes set up once. It was so poorly organized, and I was like, oh, I can do a drawing class for grandmas way better than this. Your library might already have groups of people who are interested in that they have lists for. Kristen agreed. I'd rather do it at home. Walmart has what I need for pretty affordable prices, and I can just follow a painting video on the internet. Art itself is expensive. And then drinking is expensive. And then you combine those things, and it's going to be pricey. That's why I say do an art jam. It's taken a lot of my money. Mm-hmm. It has taken my life. That is my life, which is one of the reasons why Procreate is so effing amazing to me, is because it has more than paid for itself. I haven't had a lot of expensive alcohol either, so I'm good with the cheap stuff too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so are artists. No joke. I go for mid-grade. Like, I probably spend between $20 and $40 on a bottle of booze. And I'm very brand loyal. So, like, Kettle One, I like their flavor. They're probably my favorite. Russian Standard is pretty good, too. $8 bottle of wine. That's what I'm talking about. That's about what I pay for my wine. Or 12. Because I buy a California, is it? Or is it Washington State? I think it's Washington State. YouTube is taking all my money. It's also why I have journaling Bibles and stuff. I color in my Bible. That's awesome. That's really cool. So they'd leave with more skills and a drawing to show off with. Yep, exactly. I got Stella Rose and Smirnoff. Hey, whatever gets the job done, man. The whole point is to kind of like chill out and relax, and then you can draw. Because you want to... So there's something that I call the tech method. The tech method is basically, instead of doing a fluid line, you go tech. And what you really want to do is that fluid line. But people are so intent on being perfect instead of making progress that they will micromanage their line work, and that just makes it look messy. We have Gallo wine at the local shop for $3.50 a bottle, and it's yummy. I'm so good with a $3.50 bottle of wine, a small canvas, and some paint. Hell yes. I just need a tarp or an area rug. I'm not afraid of getting messy because security deposit. Yes. Lay down some newspaper or something, or drawing paper. Stella Rose Black Lux is my favorite wine. Really? I am going to make a note of that. Stella Rose Black Lux. What kind of wine is it? Is it a rosé? Wine is for Valentine's Day weekend to treat myself. Oh, you know what? I didn't even consider booze for... Maybe if I... What do I want for Valentine's Day? I ordered macaroons for myself, but I want something tasty to go with it. A drinky bit. Those foam puzzle mats are cheap and movable and cleanable. They can be cheap. They can also be really expensive considering. And weed is legal in Arizona too. I'm just going to say that the number of artists that smoke outnumber the number of artists I know that don't. Just gonna put that out there. Holy crap, Katarina, that's a great idea. Yeah, my anxiety makes it hard to be creative a lot. Yep. Didn't really do it a lot last year. If smoking helps relieve some of that anxiety, then do the hell out of it. That's how I look at it. People also have a very hard time using their hand for drawing correctly without warming up or being taught. Right. My warm-ups are actual basic songs. And there are exercises that you can do to kind of make warm-ups easier. It's actually Via Stella Mio Moscato and Berry. Now, the problem with berry means there's probably strawberry like involved somehow, which means I probably can't do it. And they are too precious with their drawing. I am so glad to have an iPad with Procreate. Am I right? I more than qualify for a card to anxiety, depression, PTSD. And you should do it. I think you would benefit. If you can do it, knock it out. It's also really great to use a mind opener like that before you journal, before you write. It is legal in Georgia, but they still don't have it together except for Atlanta. I'm on the South Carolina and Georgia border. I don't smoke. I listen to various things. Grapes, strawberries, and raspberries. Yeah, haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. Got it because it was pink. I drink Pacific Rim Dry Riesling honey mead. Carol's? The mead in my area at the store is it's a little bit for a lot of money. I used to have friends who brewed it. They made mead, and they usually paid for my artist skills with mead, so I always had it. And now that I no longer have it, because I drink it all, I'm like, I wanted mead this past month, and I went to the store, and it was not cheap. Not cheap. So who's treating themselves for Mango double espresso vodka? That sounds terrible. It's also a special occasion wine for me because it runs between $17 to $20 depending on where you live and tax things. Yep. It's expensive for a card, and once I start in-person practicum and student teaching, it'll be useless. I know some people that use it as a study aid. My friend shares with me since I need so little. I'm a lightweight as fuck. Yeah. I don't know how it affects you, but I understand if I have just a little bit. Like, I understand really complex things really easily. I knew a law student who used that technique. She would get just high enough, and then she would read an entire book and remember all of it. Root beer float vodka. I like Not Your Father's root beer. I gotta be in a mood for flavored vodkas like this. If the vodka's no good, then flavoring it isn't gonna make it better. I have to treat myself after V-Day because payday is the 15th. Ooh. I feel you, Kristen, sending gentle hugs. I'm glad you have something. It would depend on the school if they test. Would they test you? In my area, they would definitely test you. As a student, they can't do shit. But if you're staff, that's gonna suck. Little Debbie V-Day cakes. I've been able to focus more on assignments and stuff high. I don't overthink them. Right, exactly. You understand it the first time it was said. It's great. I'm hoping to convince the in-laws to get Chinese from a place I can get sushi. For Valentine's Day, is that what you're doing? That's better, Christina. Stuff will majorly on sale. Mm-hmm. Now I need to look. I'm sorry, I need to look. What is it? It's a semi-sweet. It's a semi-sweet what? But I'm game. I wrote it down. I'm going to ask my husband for it. And maybe I'll have that for Valentine's Day. In my area, they don't care if you're a college teacher in Memphis. And in Memphis, the teachers revolted when they suggested they might start grade testing. Really? Mm-hmm. Could go either way in Phoenix, honestly. Phoenix has such different cultures depending on which area it is. That is an understatement. That is a gross understatement. Yeah, Valentine's is Chinese. It is the South, and Asian food is all lumped together here. Interesting. After you start, they probably won't test you. Unless you start sucking at your your job. And then they'll be like, oh, well, they're probably on drugs, which is bullshit. My complex, I smell weed all the time when I walk in the evenings. And if they don't suspect anything, then they won't have any reason to test you. Unless they do random testing. Well, I'd probably be better. I have such a chill high, I do too. I don't know where in the store I would find this. Semi-fully sparkling dark red blend, blackberry, blueberry, raspberry flavors. There's a ton of chat that I missed. That's awesome. I've played Tipsy a couple of times, Hi, Raven. I've never been high, and I'm in no rush to find out what my high would be like. I'm terrified to trip. Because in the past, my hallucinations have not been good ones. Too much of a control freak. The idea of having my inhibitions unshackled, especially after my experiences with alcohol, positively terrifies me. There's a scale, just like with drinking. There's a scale of highness. Like, you don't have to be totally wrecked every time you smoke. I might try to find a good sushi place. Try some sushi for Valentine's. I haven't had good experiences with sushi in the past. I don't suspect sushi in your area would be particularly good. Oh, Discord. Okay, hold on. Invite. Copy. I'm just relaxed, honestly. Yeah. I definitely understand that. I play Among Us High almost exclusively now. It's ridiculous. I get really quiet after a while. First time with edibles was with my friend, and one is a nurse, so I was good. I imagine that's true, Sako, but you don't find out what the scale is for you without some trial and error, which I'm not inclined to take the chance of indulging in. My grandfather hated euphorics. He did not like not having his wits about him. It doesn't help that pot smoke makes my chest almost immediately constrict. So maybe pot isn't for you. I benefit now that if I stay awake on Lunesta, then I can get pretty fucked up. But it's a sleeping aid, right? So the whole point is to fall asleep. So I tend not to stay up too much later after I've taken it. Oh, wait. You would probably do better with a tincture, yeah. I was 1:30 behind the live chat. That's okay. Maybe just CBD. Valid. I had a friend who was recovering alcoholic and had to put a stop to his indulgence because similar reasons. I mean, there's also the fact that I have a federal job that does randomly test, so I'm not in a position to have temptation anyway. That is absolutely true. Yeah. Why put yourself in a situation where it can make you lose your job just for trying it? My husband also loves CBD, but my husband also loves weed in general. He wishes that like they would just fucking legalize it here. I am really interested in this Stella Rosa. Where would I find it? Like, where is it made? Yeah, friend can't because she's a nurse and it's her husband, and I'm getting her husband and I getting high. Yeah, I gotcha. Oh, the Apothic Red is pretty good. Yeah, and I'm not normally into reds. I've been drinking them more recently. We now subscribe to a wine box, like subscription box, and I drank the 2 bottles that were here. I was like, I'm gonna save this Merlot for Nina, and then nope, no, I'm not. I wish I could afford Writer's Tears whiskey, but it's like $50. I definitely know those feels. I want the Writer's Tears whiskey too. That, and I can't get it at the grocery store. I'd have to go to. That's a thought. Maybe I'll hit up a ABC store and. So, Raven, are you doing anything cool for yourself on Valentine's Day? I'm just calling it a self-care day. So I'm going to make a blanket fort probably within the next day or so. I get mine at the gas station, but ordering online is an option if you're willing. Ordering online would be extremely ritual mead. What kind of mead do you use as your ritual mead? Let me see if my store even sells it. Oh my gosh, come on. All right, search. Stella Rosa. Black. Lux. Am I missing a name? Stella Rosa. Let me see what they got for Stella Rosa in general. Rosso, Moscato d'Asti, and Peach. And I heard the peach is terrible. How about ABC? They're all closed because they open at noon. You can order online from the ABC store? It's got to be expensive as fuck. All right. Stella wrote. Did my music end? No, it paused. Thanks. Stella Rosa. Product. There's the peach, cranberry, Pinot Grigio. That's not going to help. So apparently I can't get it in Virginia. Oh yeah, don't forget to hydrate. Join the Discord, and Sako is all out of bubblegum. Thanks. I would say absolutely not. I make a point of ignoring Valentine's Day. Oh. And that said, I'm stuck working 9 days in a row. The 14th is smack dab in the middle of those days, so I'll probably be asleep. You know what? You do you, boo. You do you. The meat I buy is Dunk's Mjord. Oh, it's good. With added hops. It's no wonder it freaking knocks you on your ass. The peach wines are a toss-up. The Gala wines are the ones I've found where I can enjoy all the flavors, especially besides the Chardonnay. You're not into the Chardonnay. It says it's carried at the Walmart near me. Okay. Oh, Walmart doesn't sell wine, I don't think. Walmart. Hello, Rose. Rosso, peach, Dusty, pineapple, rose, black magnum, blueberry wine, watermelon wine, imperial rosso, apparently some clothes, Stella Rosa, black rocks. Nope. They got all kinds of different Stella Rosas. The Magnum wine, Black Magnum is as close as they got. Oh, I didn't realize my time is up. Jeez. so busy looking at wine. I've only been able to get this meat from a liquor warehouse company out of New York City, which is why it costs so much. I tried to just relax on Sundays anyway. Your Walmart doesn't sell wine. It does sell wine, but it doesn't sell Black Lux. Well, that and I guess shipping alcohol actually costs a lot in general. It does. Shipping glass specifically costs a lot. I think I've bought alcohol at Walmart before. I have as well, but they don't have that specific wine. And I'm in the market for a wine that doesn't suck. I got a blueberry wine. And Ginny said that she tried the watermelon wine and it was really good. At a liquor store because they can order a special, and it should. Our stores are state run. They can't order in stuff. Whether Walmart can sell alcohol or not is very regionalized. It's weird. Now I'm hoping I can get it in Oregon without a hassle when we move back. I may have to stock up before we move. You might. Tidings of comfort and joy. That's weird. All right, the music is just going to convince me to continue. They've got a Rosa Lux, Imperial Rosa Lux. Conte 2 in Manassas. I'd have to go all the way to Manassas. That is bull. Sadly, I cannot. I've tried. To my knowledge, none of the Walmarts in Maryland are allowed to sell alcohol, I don't think. They're not. Walmart is not allowed to sell hard liquor. They can sell wine and beer because cooking. So it's got to be a Walmart that has a grocery store. Look at the picture in the Discord. That may be easier to pinpoint on the internet. But Lord, I hope if you are able to find it, it will be worth the hassle when you try it. Yeah. Well, I should wrap up this stream, but I'm probably going to hop into the chat. Hop into the chat. I will catch you. If you liked this video at any point, absolutely. Maybe one of us can send it to you. That would cost a lot to ship. If you like this video at any point, please hit the like button. If you would like to continue talking about creative self-care, we can continue that talk tomorrow. We got swept up talking about self-care in a different way today. Then you might want to subscribe, maybe even ring the bell and put it on personalized, just on the off chance that it'll notify you. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.